these last couple days, I've been going through it. I've been going through it. And when I say going through it, let me make sure I get that right. When I say going through it, I mean that um, I don't know if it was a matter of me being rest broken. I don't know if it's just the consistent flights over and over and over again. I don't know what that is, but um, I've been going through it as far as like rest, like body seemed like it was just super tired. Um, a couple days ago, I had a fever. No, I don't have COVID. Um, I've already confirmed that that's not the case. But I had to take care of business, right? And so because I don't miss and because I continue to go, I just have to figure out how to modify or how to adjust on the way. So I get sleep where I can. I take care of business where I can, and I find time in between that to be able to figure out how it is that I can continue to push forward without slowing down any of the other things that I got going on, right? But let me tell you one thing, right? Um, I sent Rita here to Florida before I got here. So she was in a completely different city in Florida. And then I came over from Miami to where I am now, right? Over in Tampa. And when I got here, as usual, she checking on me, literally sizing me up, practically turning me around, looking at my hands. And it's funny because when we ride in a car together, right? We was riding in a car together and we was on our way somewhere yesterday. And she's constantly looking over at me, looking over at me. And so I did something like this, and she was like, "Is your hands right? Is your such right?" And I'd be like, "Dang, girl." But see, on one end, you can say, "Dang, I'm good" or whatever. But on the other end, it's like you're appreciative because she's my eyes and my ears on things that I can't see, right? So, for example, the other night, I'm laying in the bed, she checking my temperature. Freaking 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I hear the DoorDash guy at the hotel room, at the door in the hotel room. He comes and brings a thermometer so that she can come check my temperature. In the middle of the night, she checking my temperature. She pulling the cover down. She getting alcohol and rubbing my body down to make sure that I ain't got no fever. She getting cold rags and putting it over my head. Hey, no, we got to make sure you're good or whatever. And here's the other side of it, right? So then, you know, while after in between while she's doing now, she's up all night. My sleep is broken up, and I'm giving y'all a real life picture of what my life is like, right? And one of the things that I like to do for y'all is I don't like to sell y'all a narrative. I like to give y'all the truth of what real life looks like from a business perspective, from a financial perspective, how it affects me personally, and the whole thing, right? And so stick with me. I'm gonna bring it around, right? So in the middle of the night, she's doing all of this, right? She's pulling the cover down, having housekeeping, bring extra towels just so she can make sure that she keeping them in rotation to make sure that I ain't got no fever. She giving me Tylenol and all of this stuff in order to make sure that this stuff is taken care of. And this is all the time. Like this is not something that's new. This is kind of what she do. Like it's almost like she gets sleep where she can at night, and then once I'm going into the office, that's when she started focusing on herself. But the entire time that I'm around, whether it's me, getting home or me, at night, she's 100% focused on me, right? Her whole existence when I'm around is me. The whole thing is me, right? So all throughout the night, she working on me. In between that, she's checking emails. She's double checking because we got some repairs that we got to make to one of the rental properties that's going to cost, I don't know, like 10,000. I think he sent the quote over.
Yep, I talked to you about that.
Tell him to just tell him to go with whatever the best one is.
The best one for each.
Best one for each. Tell him to go whatever his recommendation for the best one for each is. Now, you also got to take into consideration this, right? She's the one that's doing all of the work for the building of the property, right? So we building a new rental property. We paying cash for it. But she's the one that's filing for the permits. She's working with the architect. She's working with the contractors. And she just comes to me and say, hey, this is this and this and this and this. Is this what you want? Is this what you want? And I just be like, hey, go whatever it is that you think is best. Just tell me whatever the check is that I'm supposed to write. So she's the one that goes and oversees all of that stuff. And then she just brings it back to me and say, okay, what do you want? And this is what we're going to need a check for, right? And now I've empowered her and I said, listen, you write the checks, you take care of the business, you do all of that. I don't want to just bring me back a summary, right? Give me the cliff notes and then you take care of all the business. So I say this to say one thing, right? It's a difference between a wife and a hoe, okay? Y'all got to be able to separate the two. And I remember years ago when I first started communicating to y'all and I was telling you that marriage is a business first, y'all laughed at me. As usual, you always come back around um, to see things my way, right? Because I'm right. And just because you don't get it at the time does not mean that I'm any less right, right? But marriage is a business first. And from her perspective, right, I'm the asset. So she take care of the asset and she does it with love. And it doesn't remove the fact that you love the person that you with, right? And that you still have to look at it from a business perspective. You can love a person that you're with and not be married to them, right? But when you look at it from a marriage perspective, when you look at it as raising kids, when you look at it as they're your eyes and ears and they're doing things that they wouldn't normally do, and the life insurance and the pensions and the 401ks and the building of the properties and the assets and working together and all of this other type of stuff, right? When you're talking about taking care of a person at night and all of that stuff, marriage is a business first. It's a business first. And it's a difference between a wife and a hoe. And we have to be able to separate the two. And the only people that get offended when I say that type of stuff is the hoes. And again, I'm going to use the same example as I always use. If you say, I can't stand broke dudes, I'm going to just be looking at you. I'm not going to be looking and saying, oh man, I can't believe you said that, because I'm not broke. It don't apply to me. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you said something that you think is right, but and it may tie to me. If you say, I don't like dudes that short, I'm 5'7". I just be looking like, oh, okay. I got mines. I got everything that I've ever wanted in life, including a dope wife, a dope daughter, all of the money in the world, connections, networks, all of that, right? So I'm never bothered when people say stuff because they're speaking to a specific demographic. They're not speaking to me as it relates to their life, right? So when I say it's a difference between a wife and a hoe, and then the people say, oh man, I can't believe you called these women hoes. Well, a hoe is a hoe. She does hoe behavior. A wife is a wife. She does wife behavior. A decent person is a decent person. They do decent people behavior, right? A black man is a black man. A nigga is a nigga. It's all bucketed for us to be able to separate the difference between the two. And I'm tired of people trying to put a wife in the same category as a hoe, because it is a difference. It's a gulf. It's an ocean in between the two, right? And I need y'all to understand this. Marriage is not for everybody. So I'm not pushing marriage. The thing that I offer people is to give them insight on being successfully married if that's the path that you choose to go down, okay? But it's not for everybody. It's a certain demographic I think that it makes the most sense for. Depending on your criteria, your circumstances, what you're looking for, all of that is a completely separate conversation. But the point is that I need guys and women to be able to separate the two. Just because you got a BBL, just because you got butterfly eyelashes, just because you think you look good and dudes is talking to you because they want to fuck you, does not mean that you wife material. Just because you can cook don't mean that you wife material. Just because you can have sex don't mean that you're a wife. Just because you're a mother or just because you're a woman does not mean that you are a wife. You are not. You are for the streets. You are for everybody. And the one thing that you know about Rita is that she not visible like that. She ain't looking for the limelight. She ain't trying to be all in front of the cameras like Diddy and them. You know what I'm saying? She not trying to control what it is that I got going on over here on YouTube. She ain't doing none of that. You know what she do? She play a role. She pours into the vision that I have for us, in which she's largely the beneficiary of, and she benefits as a result of it. She lives a phenomenal life, and she don't even feel the need to even be on the internet visible in front of everybody. The only time she even really come on the internet or on camera is when I invite her on because I need her for something specifically. But in reality, she don't care about none of that shit. She ain't clout chasing. She ain't trying to be like men. She ain't trying to compete with y'all. She do what she's supposed to do in order to ensure that I'm taken care of, understanding that the best version of me is the best version of us. And that's the true definition of a wife. So I need y'all to be able to separate the two. I need y'all to be able to identify the ones that's actually worthy of marriage and the ones that's not. And look at it from a business perspective first if that's something that you decide to do, because she's invaluable to me. She frees up my time so that I can do the things that I need to do in order to ensure that success comes on that front. And then she's handling all of the little details and the emails and the calls and all of that stuff. And one more thing. So I know that Rita handles everything, but just because y'all reach out to Rita don't mean that I'm gonna do what y'all ask me to do. All right. What y'all don't understand is she laughing over there. What y'all don't understand is Rita's a very nice, loving person, but Rita is not the one to play with. I'm the nice one. When people don't understand that I'm the nice one, I'll be like, oh, hold on, let's make sure that we get him in, let's fit him in, and all of this other type of stuff. Y'all be calling Rita talking about, hey, I need to get in on Anton's schedule or whatever, and she be like, listen, just send an email, and I'm gonna make sure that I get you taken care of. And she be putting down that phone like, they can't have your time on Sunday. This is the time that you allocated for this. This is what your schedule is. This is what you told me to do. This is what we gonna roll with. And I'll be like, no, let's get him in. And she'd be like, nope. You need some time to rest. You need some that. Rita don't fuck around. Y'all keep thinking that just because she nice and all of this stuff, she does not play when it comes to me or my business. When it comes to my business, my bag, my money, my time, my health. All right. Y'all better off trying to get in touch with me than you are getting in touch with her, because, and I don't mean try to get in touch with me, but she be like, she don't curse. I'm the only person that cuss in the household, but she curse when we having sex, but you do. You do. All right, I ain't gonna say it out loud no more, but you do. Well, you can't help yourself on that part, but fuck around and find out if you want to.